Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt. Welcome back to Farlands or Bust. We're awake. We accidentally fell asleep at the end of the last episode, didn't we? I barely had a chance to take down my old workbench. It was really weird. I don't know that that's ever accidentally happened before. And I was quite flustered, so I just decided to roll with it and fall asleep. It was weird because I placed the bed, and I was inside the bed. Accidentally inside the bed. And so I tried to get myself out of it, but I right-clicked and fell into it. And then that's when we fell asleep. But we're awake now to continue Farlands or Bust. This is episode 708 of the series. Let's clean up some inventory and continue west towards those Farlands. In Minecraft Beta 173. Hello? There we go. Minecraft Beta 173 for your Saturday, September 29th, 2018. These are suspicious footprints. Pigs. They're pigs. Suspicious pigs. For your Saturday, September 29th, 2018. I don't want this to be a once-a-week series. Trust me. It's just stuff keeps happening and coming up. I'm basically bad at working and not being distracted by life and stuff. But that's fine, right? We're working on it. And you guys are still working on it. That is to say, working on raising money for Direct Relief charity over at farlandsorbust.com. We passed the $18,000 mark. We're at $18,055.91. That's a really difficult number to formulate in my mouth hole. Like, we're $18,055.91. $18,055.90. How do you say that? Like, if you were going to write that down on a check. 18,000. Normally it's like $18,155, but this is $18,055.91. It's just weird. Is it not weird? It sounds like a weird word to put together. I'm thinking about this too much and spending far too much time of this episode discussing such things, aren't I? It's almost as if I'm padding for content. But yeah, I do appreciate all those generous donations and questions. Got quite a few questions here as well that we'll get to. At farlandsorbust.com, there's a big, easy to see at the top, orange and yellow button that says donate, where you can donate. It'll take you directly to the donate form on our Tiltify campaign. Otherwise, every other page of the farlandsorbust.com website has a banner that says support Direct Relief at our Tiltify. It'll take you directly to the Tiltify page, upon which there are instructions where to donate. And yeah, helping out a good cause, Direct Relief. Trying to raise $50,000 this season. And when we do is when we'll finally press F3 to see how far we've walked. And see if this terrain jitter offset gets any bigger. Right now we're at 2 texture pixels. We're calculating that we're sort of coming close to another float point of float. the point of floatiness. I believe it's within the 4 millions. And about a year ago we passed the 3 millions, the pi number 314. So it's soon-ish, or not soonish. Who knows? That I think is part of the mystery. The mystery. Careful, Wolfie. Jeez, he almost got pushed into that hole by that chicken. Murderous, dangerous, evil chicken. Indeed, but continuing on. I hope your weeks have gone well. Oh, we need sheep. Let me remind everybody, of course, in the Americas, everywhere, I suppose, that has voting, but particularly in the Americas, make sure you're registered to vote. Voter turnout for my audience, that is to say the first-time voters, eligible voters, 18 to 24-year-olds. Although, actually, I have yet to look at my analytics in quite a while. But I think the majority of my audience has aged like a moldy cheese. No, has aged with me. So I think actually my majority audience is in the 25 to 35 bracket. I could be wrong though. I really rarely ever pay attention to analytics anymore. It's a zero-sum game. But regardless, that's always the lowest voter turnout. And that should change. It should change, I say. So please, educate yourself, register to vote, share with your friends and family how to register to vote. Make sure it's as easy as possible for everybody, and then actually follow through and vote in this upcoming election, November 4th. I do believe all the primaries are over. And I know the state of Washington, the deadline to register is like October something. October 6th or 8th or 12th or something like that, because then they mail out all the ballots. This is a fully vote-by-mail state. But, yeah, please do that. Indeed. Indeed! So, continuing on here. Moo to you too. Moo to you too. This one is, this episode is not being recorded. Do I have to, like, denote this every single time now? This is, I just felt like doing just you, it's just you and me here. It's just us. Recording for the video. No live streaming of this one. And we do have quite a few questions here. One from Room Viking. I think we ended the last episode with one from Room Viking, but this one, what was your favorite toy growing up? That's a tough one to answer. It certainly changed based on what different toys I had and my age and stuff like that. Man, that is a tough one. I had my fair share of remote control cars. Those were always fun. There was one that I had that... There was always some gimmick with remote control cars. I never just had a normal remote control car. That was a car. But there was one that was... You pushed a button, and its two axles were, like, on different axles themselves, and it would spin, giving the car, like, a wider, longer wheelbase, and then you could spin it the other way, and then it would give it, like, a super short wheelbase, and you could, like... It was basically... It didn't have steerable wheels. It just had, like, tank controls, like left wheels, right wheels, so you could spin it around in circles on a dime and stuff like that. Or if you did it, like, halfway, you could adjust the wheels to have, like, almost like a drag car setup, where, like, the front axle was really low and the rear was really high. That one was pretty fun. That one was good. That was good times. Went pretty fast, too. But the batteries on those, it's like, you charge them for 12 hours... The NICAD batteries, or whatever the heck they're called. And then you get like 20 minutes of play out of it, and then they're dead. So that was always disappointing. But yeah, I liked my fair share of remote control cars. That was probably my best, my favorite. And because it was like four-wheel drive, it actually could go through short grass. Particularly if you arranged it so that the ride height was tall on both axles. But, yeah, that was fun. I liked my Legos. I'm sorry, Lego. I had the old Lego Space Shuttle. A little small one. I also had the big Black Sea Barracuda pirate ship, amongst other things. Lego were always nice. I had a train set. Wolfie remembers. Yeah, I don't know, favorite toy. I also had... there was a Crash Test Dummies line of toys. And I had the car that came with 2 Crash Test Dummies. And like the Crash Test Dummies had little buttons on them that if they got hit, like their head and arms would pop off and stuff. And the car itself had various impact points that like faked the denting of the hood, and like the roof would fall off and wheels would pop off if you like ran it into a wall hard enough. And this was pre-BeamNG.drive. We had to do all of our crash testing and stunt driving IRL. What I would have done for like a slow motion camera at that age with my Crash Test Dummies car toys. I would like find ways to roll them and flip, and things and parts would go flying everywhere. Good times. Good times indeed. Let's go to sleep and continue in the morning. And a sleepness. Normal sleepness, not accidentally falling into the bed and just having to fall asleepness. Oh boy. So yeah, those are the toys off the top of my head I can remember. There were many more. I had erector sets, which are like Lego, excuse me, that you are like metal and you put them together with nuts and bolts and screws. Had a bunch of stuff like that. Probably my favorite were the ones where you had to like build stuff, a little bit engineering and hands-on building things. Anonymous asks, do you enjoy spicy food? I used to think I had a decent tolerance for it, but when my friends served me some, until my friends served me some of his mom's curry. Yeah, curry can be spicy. Oh, we gotta do this. I don't want Wolfie to get trapped under there, though. Wolfie? Yep, have a seat. Eek. Woo. Oh, that was not as dramatic as I'd hoped. I don't seek out spicy food. Holy Moses! No. Let's not go that way. I don't seek out spicy food. Holy Moses. That is a death trap and a half if I've ever seen one. Not only is it a giant pit of death and destruction, there's a nice flow of lava on the bottom. Yikes. Danger. So yeah, I don't particularly seek it out. Like I have, since there is a Thai food place like a block away from me that I walk to and get takeout every now and again from. They have a range of how spicy, 1 to 5, and I usually go with 3. I've gotten their curry before, and I'll go down to 2 on the curry because the curry itself is already quite hot and spicy. I used to eat a lot of, well, maybe not a lot, but I used to like buffalo wings. I never liked Buffalo Wild Wings, though. See, the buffalo wings that are the best are the ones that have the sauce baked onto them. Buffalo Wild Wings just like makes bucket loads of wings, and then right before they serve it to you, they just toss it in a bowl with the sauce. What you gotta do is put it in the sauce, and then put it back in the oven, and have the sauce bake in the flavor into the chicken wings. And the few times I did go to Buffalo Wild Wings with friends or whatever, I was not impressed. And then a few times they got the hottest ones. And yeah, it was super hot, but then it like ruined your mouth, and there was no flavor. It was just heat and pain. And it's like, oh boy, I did that. Now I can't enjoy anything else for the rest of the life that I have. For the rest of the life that I have. For the rest of the night. So yeah, I'm not like, I don't seek it out. I'm okay with it. I put hot sauce on like tacos and stuff. but medium spice. But then again, I think sometimes I have spicy stuff that like other people who have no tolerance for it would be like, whoa, that's too spicy, you know. I have my a bottle of Tapatio here for my tacos. I don't like Tabasco; it's too vinegary, and I'm not into all these specialty hot sauces, ghost pepper, habanero, whatever chili thing or that or whatever. Yeah, so it's not like a huge thing for me. Like I don't put jalapenos on my burgers, but I'm okay with it. I just don't. It's not. I don't seek it out. If that makes any sense. But thank you very much for the spicy question. Let's go to a next one. Blue Llama, you mean Blue Alpaca. Blue Llama 59 asks, your F1 series is great, but the actual real life F1 races are kind of dull. Do you watch the sports? Which ones? I need good game recommendations. What's your current favorite game to watch? Sport or game? I tried watching F1, particularly after we started doing the series. If you watch the first F1, 2013, 2012, that myself and Beef did, and neither of us knew anything about F1, the sport, we've caught up for the most part with all the rules and technologies and things. But yeah, it's a wee bit boring. It's a wee bit not interesting, particularly because, you know, particular cars and teams are like, oh, they're always going to win because they have this much more money than everybody else. That part of it isn't very interesting to me. And yeah, I guess I really haven't watched a race in a very long time. Same thing with, I mean, sports in general. I haven't watched any sports. I was just making a comment about, I believe it appears as though football has begun again. And Seattle, for whatever reason, like I can't put my finger on it. I'm sure there's a reason. But I don't understand why Seattle, as a city, is hugely obsessed with their football team. Like everybody, it's like it's like a religion here that you cannot escape. Just the blatantness of it all. Like everybody has some sort of eagle, hawk, sea hawk, or whatever on sticker on their backs of their cars, and they got flags. For the longest time, I was wondering who's number 12. Why is this number 12 player so popular? Until I had to like look it up, and I'm like, oh, that's just some sort of thing that they did for the fans. The fans are the 12th player because apparently there's 11 players on football teams. Is that what? That's how much I know and care. But I've never seen it so blatant, but also unexplainable. Like I've lived in Chicago and around Chicago, and even Chicago fans aren't that. Like, some people are, but just the population as a whole, they aren't that into the Bears. Is it because the Seattle teams are actually good? Because that's the one thing with Chicago. Everybody loves the teams, but know that they're terrible. We just expect disappointment, so we don't really put a bunch of stickers on our cars. I could understand, like, okay, Texas with the Cowboys or whatever, and like the East Coast, like big cities like New York or whatever being into their sports teams. But like Seattle is just a strange anomaly. I could also understand Green Bay because there's literally nothing else to do in Green Bay but cheese and football, so that's why there's a bunch of nutballs filling that city. But yeah, Seattle, it just doesn't make sense to me. It's very bizarre. But it's good because whenever there is a football game on, nobody's outside in the streets. Nobody is in the city. Like, you can actually find parking and there's no traffic. When I'm walking Juneau, like walking by people's houses, I can hear all the football games coming from within the houses. It's a welcome ghost town whenever there's a football game on. So I do have to keep that in mind. My problem with football is how short the seasons are. They play like 10 games, and then they're like, okay, we're going to decide the best winner now. As opposed to baseball. Baseball seasons are way too long. To the point where it's statistically unimportant anymore after you've played 100 some odd games and the same team 9 times. You know, it's like, what are we trying to prove here? So, yeah, I'm not one of these people who's like, oh, sports are dumb. Why does anybody like sports? Enjoy the things you want to enjoy, but don't bother the people who don't also enjoy them to the same depth or degree or understanding. It's all right. It's okay, everybody. It's okay to say you can enjoy this thing. In the grand scheme of life, it doesn't matter one iota, but enjoy it and leave me out of it. So yeah, no, I don't watch sports. I don't watch races. I watch video games. I am a video games, after all. Am I doing okay with wool? I should probably keep getting more wool. Colonel RPG asks, isn't CSS the greatest? Oh, death traps. Wolfie, have a seat. And by CSS, I assume you mean cascading style sheets of the HTML variety. I could tell you they were the best, but I don't use them anymore. I was a very... I'm self-taught. I'm self-taught with the web design. And when I was self-teaching myself, it was kind of the renaissance of web development, when everybody was switching from table layouts to CSS and actually understanding how CSS works and the proper HTML formatting and hierarchies and whatever. But then we had the opposite problem. Let's go to sleep and rant and rave in the morning. And nerdy talkness. Nerds. So yeah, everybody switched from laying things out in tables, you know, exporting Photoshop HTML to CSS. And like that was wizardry. But then we had the opposite problem of people who really didn't understand it would have like 18,000 div tags containing all the different things on their website that they needed to move and arrange and float and clear, and that was also an additional problem to have to deal with, all these classes and IDs. But that was a good 7-8 years ago, and I am well out of the loop now. I don't even know what's what anymore, and that's kind of scary, because when this job stops being a thing, I know for a fact I won't be able to go back. Oh, I almost knocked him upside the head. Jeez, playing a dangerous game there, Wolfie. Dangerous. Yeah, I know I will not have any I barely had the qualifications to have the job I did have. The only reason I got that job is because the people who worked there were still designing websites with tables and Dreamweaver and literally Photoshop HTML exporting and being like, here's a website. So when I came and showed them the right way to do things, they were like, you're a wizard. So yeah, I don't think they exist anymore. I think after I left, that they kind of went under because they couldn't find anybody to do that for what little I was being paid. Ah, good times. Woo! But no, yeah, I don't know what the deal with programming is anymore. I never got into like JavaScript or PHP, and that was one of my lamentations with graphic design and web design, is that trying to find a job, you needed to be like a not a one-trick, but a multi-trick pony. You gotta know art and design, but also back-end server administration design and PHP and JavaScript and Java and SQL and whatever else acronyms can be out there, and it's like, nobody is that. If somebody is that, then that means they know everything but good at nothing. So yeah, I'm screwed, basically is what I'm saying. Please pray for me. Thank you very much, Colonel RPG, for that very out of left field question. I don't know what in reference that was to, but thanks for the memories, I guess. Mach 1 Fireman asks, Kurt J. Mack in PRL when? I had to look up what that was, and I think I figured it out. I think it's something Racing League with iRacing, which is something that Mach, by the way, is both a Farlander but also a cone lander. Cone dodge? No, no, that's a word that should never be spoken again. I remember a cone dodger, a stack member, and they've gotten together and have done like iRacing events. And I don't have an iRacing account anymore. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm not paying for it. I like paid for it sometimes. Cone set it up for me actually, and paid for my first month or whatever, 3 months. I raced like twice. I uploaded a video of like the NASCAR racing we did, and then I never played again. And then I never played again. I think I tried when the dirt track racing came out, and it was absolutely frustrating and horrible, so I just like never played again. And I like renewed it at some time because I thought I might try something, but never did. So yeah, if you want me to play your video game, don't make me have to subscribe to it annually or monthly or whatever, because that's certainly a good way to get me to forget about it. So I'm going to say never. I'm going to go ahead and say never. A new Dirt Rally was announced. I think it's supposed to come out February of 2019? Dirt Rally, not Dirt 3, 4 or whatever, but Dirt Rally. Slightly skeptical, since we went from the original Dirt Rally to Dirt 4, which was not a fantastic transition. So we're hoping that Dirt Rally 2 is much more in line and in the vein of the original Dirt Rally as a rally sim game that makes you sad about yourself and life at every possible chance it can. Looking forward to continued sadness. Bloink. Blink, 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 blink. Oh, perfect-ish, almost. Ooh, hello. Enjoy your new life. Tree. If that is your real name. Another one from Room Viking. Where is your favorite place to go on a weekday afternoon when you have no plans or obligations? Well, there's a part of my problem. I am all the time, constantly, always feeling like I do have obligations to stream, to work, to try to get stuff done. So that I don't run into a situation where I need to depend on my nearly decade-old and out-of-date web design, graphic design skills. So it's very hard for me to feel not guilty about taking a day off. Like, I took a day off yesterday, drove the Corolla around. I intended to record a video, so that was my excuse. I'm like, it's a nice day, I'm going to record a video, a Corolla update video, because the only Corolla video I have on my YouTube is like when I first got it, and I should probably do an update video. But then I ended up just driving a lot, and the place I drove to, I didn't realize, but it wanted like $10 for parking at this park. So I'm like, haha, no. So I just turned around and took the same route back. But yeah, that's tough. My favorite place to go on a weekday afternoon. Anytime I end up going out, it's like, oh, I need to do like errands. I need to go grocery shopping or whatever. And I don't have friends here. So like I can't meet people for coffee or lunch or dinner or whatever So yeah, that's that the whole balance thing is a thing that I have never figured out, and I'm losing confidence that I will ever figure it out. Like even today. Today I'm recording this on a Friday. I said, it's nice weather out still. It's not quite fallen into fall just yet. So I'm like, I should go hiking. I haven't been hiking enough this year. I should go hiking. But then yesterday I didn't stream or do anything work related. I just drove the Corolla around for a few hours. And so I'm like, I can't hike today. I have to work. I need to record an episode of Far Lands or Bust. It's been a week. This can't be a weekly series. I got to stream. So this is where we're at. It's tough. But hopefully, that's the one thing. If I have a free day, I feel like I want to hike. And that's what I should do. I'm not like asking for like this isn't like, oh, poor Kurt. I clearly have an amazing job, an amazing community of Farlanders who support both the charitable endeavors as well as myself in the sub-tub on Twitch and on Patreon, and we're waiting for the Minecraft server software to update for the next version, and then we're going to do a whole server reset, I believe, for the 1.13 update. That's what we're waiting on. So y'all are what's keeping me afloat as it is, and I appreciate you, and I'm by no means complaining about the fact that I should be working and shouldn't be taking days off to go on drives or hikes or whatever. It's just I'm just answering the question that was posed. But yeah, I mean, I do like going out to breakfast cafes. Well, kind of by myself. But it's nicer to go with someone just to have like conversation and a reason to hang around for more than just when you're finished eating food. But yeah, I like breakfast cafes. I'll try to sometimes go down to the waterfront, and instead of walking Juno just around the neighborhood, I'll go down to the waterfront and walk her along those paths. But then that tends to take, instead of the hour or so it just takes to walk Juno around the neighborhood, there's, an additional 30 minutes or so on either side to drive to and fro wherever it is we're going to have a walk somewhere else. But, yeah, that's, I need friends. Local friends. I have friends, internet friends, and when they visit, I have things to do. But, yeah, that's good times. It's great news. Thank you very much, Room Viking, and everybody else for your donations and questions, of course, which you yourself could contribute to by going to farlandsorbust.com, clicking on that big donate button. Whoop. Right there on the home page, on every page, and supporting Direct Relief Charity. Much appreciated indeed, as we make the last hidey hole here for the day, and try not to accidentally slip and fall into bed and fall asleep. That would be fantastic. Let's do that, this, that, and that. Make it safe. Make some beds. Whoop. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was 4, but close enough. Let's also make some boats. Skills. Got those skills, those bed making, boat making skills. Thank you so much once again for watching and your support. As I said earlier, much appreciated indeed. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. looking forward to continued sadness.